Hello and welcome to Low Budget Gaming and welcome to another Steam Summer Sale 2023 video. This time we are looking at hidden gems. So first we start with Dome Keeper. This is a recent favorite of mine, came out towards the end of last year. So in this one basically you are a engineer, assessor on an alien planet, have this dome, and underneath the dome you go and dig for resources. You also have periodic waves of attacks from enemies, from alien creatures, and so you have to come back up, defend the dome, get rid of the enemies, then go back down, get more resources, things like that. Of course, as time goes on, you have to go deeper to dig more resources. There are more enemies, they get more hostile, so you have to manage your defenses and the resource mining as well. They have added a lot more features recently, more modes, and also mod support. Fantastic little game. So this is 40% off, $10.79 in the US, $4.86 in India, £9.14 in Canada. Next is a similar sort of game. I haven't actually played this one, but it is on my wishlist and I might get it. This is Wallward. So once again, this time you have a mobile base of operation and you go up a wall, and then you have these weak points where you start digging in, again dig for resources, then you have to defend yourself from the enemy attacks, stuff like that. So fairly similar concept, but this is more of a story style game, I believe. I've seen some live streams of this one and reviews as well, but yeah, this is also very good and it is very cheap. Like, the full price is also not that much, so this is 20% off, $4 only. Next we have a relaxing puzzle game. So this is Glass Masquerade. What I mean by puzzle is jigsaw puzzle. So you have these stained glass clocks and you have to complete the puzzles. So you have many versions, they all represent a country, but as you progress the pieces get smaller, stuff like that. Very relaxing, nice music in the background. There are 3 games in the series and this is the first one. Overwhelmingly positive, very affordable price wise, 65% off, $174, 69 rupees, 139 in the UK, 192 in Canada, and 174 in the Eurozone. Next is one of my favorite games. This is Return of the Obra Dinn. So Obra Dinn is the name of the ship. Now it mysteriously vanishes and then few months or weeks later it sort of floats back to shore mysteriously again. And you are a insurance guy who starts to figure out what happened to the people on board. So this is basically a murder mystery investigation with some supernatural stuff, and you have to go and figure out how the 60 people on board died. So they give you a, what do you call that? Basically like the list of people on board, crew and passengers, and you have to figure out what happened to each of them. And you have this clock which shows you the last moments of a person, of a dead body, and you have to piece together and connect all 60 of them and like solve all of the murders. Fantastic game made by one person, and this art style is similar to what games were like back in the early 80s. A beautiful game. I have actually done a full guide, like walkthrough on how to finish and solve the game, and it's gotten a lot of views over the years. So yeah, very good game. You won't find anything like this. This is 40% off, $12, $5.28 in India, £10, $15.59 in Canada, $11.70 in the Eurozone. The Riftbreaker was my favorite game of 2020. So this is once again a base building tower defense style game. You have a mech and there's a scientist who is inside a mech, and you are on an alien planet, quite hostile, and you have to once again build your base, set up your defenses, and then fight off the alien creatures. Now these alien creatures attack you in their hundreds, maybe in their thousands sometimes. And the game just looks very good. Performance was rock solid. Did not see a single frame drop despite all the effects and enemies and creatures on screen. And they've also added 2 more DLCs later on. I haven't played the DLCs, I've just played the base game quite a lot. I like this game so much, I was playing the demo multiple times before the game came out. So fantastic game, and this is now 40% off, $18, $4.49 in India, £15, $20 in Canada, $18 in the Eurozone. X-Morph Defense. So this is another game by the same developers as Riftbreaker. This was their previous game. This time you are playing as the aliens. You invade Earth and you set up a giant tower in the middle of some city. And you also have a small sort of fighter jet type that you control. So your job is to, fight off the human defense forces. And if there's like something really big, you take the jet fighter and go and deal with that. But you get time to set up your turrets and block paths and stuff like that, and then deal with it. So multiple maps around the world, different style of gameplay, but generally very fun game. Again, it works very well. Also, this was free from GOG a few years ago, so you may have this game, but if not, it's quite cheap. This is 80% off, $4 only, 113 in India, £3, 4.39 in Canada, and €4. Next is Evergate. So this is again a 2D puzzle platformer style game. Feels very inspired by Ori and the Blind Forest. Slightly different gameplay loop, but has a very similar feel to it. Music is nice, different levels, and in fact your creature is also called something similar like Key or something. So this is again a very cheap game, 75% off, $249, $120 in India, $224 in the UK, $324 in Canada. Far Lone Sail. So if you are on my channel for a while, you may have heard me mention this game a few times. A very relaxing game. This is basically a vehicle management game. So you have this amazing looking vehicle and you go from left to right in a dried up ocean bed, I think, and you have to pick up fuel on the way. You have to repair it if there's any issue, and along the way there are some obstacles that you have to overcome. Sometimes you don't have fuel, you can use the sails to progress. No dialogue, no talking, just some relaxing minimalistic music as you go through here. Very nice relaxing game. This is 80% off, $3 only, 91 rupees only, 227 in the UK, 439 in Canada, and €3. Guns, Gore, and Cannoli. So this is a 2D action game shooter, and this is again a very fun game, colorful art style, comedy elements here. So basically you are a mafioso in the 1920s and somebody has poisoned the alcohol on St. Patrick's Day. So you have to fight off all the zombies and also figure out what's going on. So it's got that, it makes fun of all the mafia cliches and stuff like that. Mafia movies, gangster movies. And yeah, there are two games here. Both of them are quite fun. And they also have co-op. I believe local co-op only. I don't think this has online. You can see here Godfather. So this is 60% off, $4, $147 in India, $279 in the UK, $439 in Canada, €4. Next is Fury Unleashed, also a shooter action game, even better in my opinion. And this is basically set within the pages of a comic book. And so you go from the top left panel of the page of a comic book and then all the way down to the bottom right. And when you finish a book, you get the boss. There are multiple books, I think 3 when I played it. It also has local co-op and online co-op, and you can also use a lot of combos and make it even more fun. Very, very good. The controls were fantastic. I played this with a controller, but the shooting and jumping around, everything was just so precise and spot on basically. So this is 75% off, $5, $220 in India, $449 in the UK, $649 in Canada, €5. Next is Offroad Mania. So this is a very simple, fun off-road game, and there are multiple modes. Some are like completing the levels, difficult levels where you have to slowly climb over objects. Some are racing style ones. You unlock more levels, unlock more cars and stuff like that. So if you ever wanted to play games like SnowRunner or MudRunner but they felt too daunting, you can try something like this. Easy to get into, different levels, and yeah, I found it to be quite fun and quite a cheap game as well. 50% off, $4, $200 in India, $334 in the UK, $524 in Canada, and $389 in the Eurozone. Next is a game called Sakuna of Rice and Ruin. So this is a JRPG with farming and side-scrolling elements. So the story is like you are some sort of goddess of harvest or something who's been banished into a village, and so you have the farming mini game where you're cultivating rice, and also a fighting game which is like a side scrollers type stuff. Looks very good. I've actually bought this for myself, and yeah, I'll try it out hopefully. but I saw some very good reviews for it, and it looks nice. The art style has got that familiar JRPG look to it, and yeah, so nice game. 40% off. It's $18, $4.19 in India, £15, 24 in Canada, and €18. Next we have Immortal Redneck. So this is an FPS roguelite. So you are like a dude in Egypt, and each pyramid has like a lot of enemies and multiple levels, and you have to go through each of them, clear out each of them, and it's, I think, procedural with the different enemies. So yeah, lots of weapons, guns felt good. I've played this, and yeah, bosses felt suitably hard. It's got that permadeath thing, so you try and do as best as you can, and then when you die you start all over again, but it'll be slightly different the next time. This is 80% off, $4 only, 113 in India, $2.99 in the UK, $4.39 in Canada, and €4. Motorsport Manager. So this is basically a motorsport management game where you run the entire racing teams, and you have multiple divisions. You have sort of Formula 1 style, endurance style, GT classes, etc. They're not officially licensed, so they're not called F1 or something, but it is similar. So what they do is, instead of Ferrari, they'll say Scuderia Rossini or something like that. And I've played this game quite a lot. I've actually done a big let's play for this, like 200 episodes or something. And what I did was I took a backmarker team and wanted to win the championship with them. It took me quite a long time because you are managing every aspect of your team. So your HQ, you are upgrading the wind tunnel, for example, hiring better drivers, negotiating salaries with all the staff, even down to managing the race itself, tire changes, and all of that. Very good game if you are a fan of F1 and you watch, even if you watch F1 at the weekends, you should be able to pick this up. But very enjoyable game, very cheap as well. 85% off, $3, 115 in India, 224 in the UK, 449 in Canada, and €3. Tainted Grail Conquest. So this is another roguelite game with card elements, card deck building style. I bought this game because I'm a big fan of Darkest Dungeon. It's not similar, but has a similar feel. So it's set in the island of Avalon, or like whatever it is, like the Arthurian legends, and you are like a guy with a small village, and if you venture outside the village, it's like very foggy and the whole place is corrupted. But with games like this, the objective is to like defeat the enemies, but dying is also part of it. So when you die, some of your progress gets saved over, and you are able to use that on your next run, and also unlock other characters who have different playstyles and things like that. Very interesting game, if I'm honest. So this is 50% off, $10 only, $264 in India, $774 in the UK, $11.39 in Canada, and $8.39 in the Eurozone. Next we have a relaxing game. This is Beasts of Maravilla Island. So if you've played the game, or if you've heard of the game Pokemon Snap, where you go around taking pictures of different creatures, this is kind of the same thing. So there's a simple story where this girl follows in her grandfather's footsteps or something like that. Father's footsteps, grandfather, I can't remember. And you basically land on this mysterious island with strange creatures, and you have different zones around the island. You have to go and take the pictures of all the different creatures there. They give you like a number of pictures to take, and then you explore the different regions. There's a bit of a story as well. You find and do the story. Not a very long game, but a nice relaxing change of pace here. Maybe 2 hours or so gameplay wise, if you do everything quickly. If you take your time and do all of it and collect everything, it might take a little longer. So this is 40% off, $6, $209 in India, $431 in the UK, $689 in Canada, and $491 in the Eurozone. Another relaxing game, this is Call of the Sea. Now this one is set in the 1930s. You play as a woman who's in search of her husband. Her husband was like on an expedition to the South Pacific, and they kind of disappear, so she's after him, trying to find out what happened. And of course you find mysterious artifacts, and you have to solve puzzles and things like that. Again, a nice relaxing game, and this is 55% off, $8.99, $3.96 in India, $7.53 in the UK, $11.69 in Canada, and €9. Tales of Iron. So this is a 2D Souls-like game and a very fun game. I've actually streamed the whole thing, like 100%ed it on stream. Took me about 18 hours or something. So basically in this one, you are part of the Rat Kingdom. You are a prince. You are the son of the king, and there are these evil frog clans. And one time they invade and kill the king, your father, and basically destroy your kingdom. So you have to rise up as the new ruler, the heir to the throne, basically, and defeat all these different bosses. So you kill off the random frogs as well, but every now and then you run into big bosses, and this is where the game was quite fun. And yeah, the combat was satisfying, the music was fun, and there are also like humorous elements here and there. The narrator for this is the voice actor for Geralt of Rivia, so you hear the voice of Geralt of Rivia in the background, and there's some Easter eggs as well thrown in there. So this is $750 in the US, $389 in India, $659 in the UK, and $9 in Canada. Next we have The Descendant. So this is a Telltale style episodic game with a story where you could say it's a mixture of Fallout, a bit of Fallout. So there's some issues outside the world, post-apocalyptic setting, and the last of humanity is being preserved in these cryo pods, and you are basically a guy who is looking after them, like you are awake and keeping check of these things. But obviously there are a couple of other people with you and you have to take shifts, and these people are sleeping for a long time, like hundreds of years, I believe. So 5 episodes, very cheap game. First episode is free, as they often are, and the rest you can buy for like very little money. So $3 will get you episodes 1 to 5, 95 rupees, 219 in the UK, 339 in Canada, €3. I've again played and did a let's play of this a few years ago back on the other channel. And then we have Eastshade. So another very beautiful looking game, relaxing. The whole thing looks like a painting because that is the theme of this game. You are a painter exploring the island of Eastshade. You stop, as you can see here, take paintings of different parts, interact with the people living there. They are kind of strange, they're like animals, but they talk and stuff. But yeah, as you can see, very good looking game, and you can pretty much treat this whole thing as like a nice painting simulator or something. But yeah, I streamed this one as well when it was released. So this is 50% off, $1249, $550 in India, $1049 in the UK, $1625 in Canada, and $1225 in the Eurozone. So yeah, that's another video done. 20 games, hidden gems. Hopefully some of these were new for you or got you interested, and I have more videos planned. I've already sort of shortlisted some games. If you are enjoying this, make sure to like the video. If you're new here, subscribe for more videos, deals, not just Steam Summer Sale, but like normal days as well. And yeah, thank you for watching. See you in the next one.